You join me at Stoke Park, where today I've been out testing Yonex's new XP range of woods. Now there's a couple of key things to talk about here. One is the look, which I'll come to in a minute, but first I want to talk a little bit about the technology that they've brought into this new driver. Now XP stands for extra power, and just as some other manufacturers have decided to go for lightweight heads, shafts, grips in order to help people create that sort of hand speed that helps them deliver a little bit more speed in the club head through impact. What Yonex have done, interestingly, is actually to increase the weight in the head. Now part of the way they've actually managed to increase the weight, is certainly where they want to, is that they've got a carbon crown here. So it's a composite head, and they've put the extra weight lower and deeper in, so it should help that initial ball flight. So Yonex say that they've introduced a little bit more extra weight in the club head, because the analogy they use is that if you were knocking a nail into a wall, you'd want a hammer with a little bit of weight in the head to really help create that momentum, that power that you need to get the nail in. And crucially, that's the concept that they've introduced here. So they've introduced a little bit more weight in the head, but the problem when you do that is that you upset the swing weight of the golf club, and so they've had to do some tweaks to the shaft to compensate for that. So if you look at the grip, you'll see that the top end of the grip has a slightly different finish on it, and that's because they've introduced a lot more weight into the very butt end of the club. Now that should act as a counterbalance here, so that the weight of the club head it feels just right. Now it's impossible to talk about the Yonex XP driver without also mentioning the finish that they've given the head. Now the orange and black alignment markings are really there to help you know exactly where the club face is set at address. It also gives it a sort of fresh new look, something that's a bit different to anything else that's out on the market. Now this might put some of you off. I would strongly suggest that regardless of what you think about the finish of the club head, that you do give it a try, because when we were testing it today on the launch monitor on the range here at Stoke Park, the numbers it was delivering were really impressive. Now I've got a feeling that part of that was because this is a composite club, and they've reduced weight in the crown quite considerably and able to place that weight further back in the head, and it helps create that really easy hitting high launch, low spin flight that many of us have come used to over the years.